mouth starts drying up. Keep in mind, I'm a little bit more comfortable, but at this point, I'm just anxious explaining even things that I already know. Answers that I already know, I'm having difficulty explaining. So this, the L's won't stop coming. Before I start this video, I just want to say I'm recently unemployed. If you guys have not watched that video, go ahead and check it out. It's a very bad story. Please help. If you are hiring, please let me know. But in the meantime, if you guys want to support the channel, go ahead and purchase some merch, Anti-Social Coder Club. On top of the merch, there's a giveaway. I forgot to mention, remember the MacBook giveaway from 6 months ago? And turns out that I had to put it on pause because I needed this laptop for work. Now that I'm unemployed, the giveaway is back on. So make sure to like and subscribe and comment. And I'll let you guys know the winner in 2 more videos. So keep checking videos, liking, subscribing, and commenting. All right, how did my Microsoft interview go? If you guys don't know from a previous video of how I prepped for this interview in 4 days, I applied to Microsoft Leap, which the Leap program is an apprenticeship program for people with, different backgrounds, which is a great thing. I love when companies do this. Long story short, I didn't get the job, but I could tell you why so you guys can avoid what I did. And also there's a mental health aspect to this, but let's talk about what I could have done first, all right? Things that were in my control. So I used to go to a coding boot camp and I worked part-time as a team lead. One of the students in my groups that I used to, mentor, tutor, whatever you want to call it, had an interview at Amazon and they actually offered him a job. And I was like, bro, when did you get ready for this interview? Because we're not even at the data structures and algorithms part of this cohort. So I'm wondering, congratulations, he turned down Amazon because they were paying him. But point is, when? He gave me a Udemy course that he saw, he watched it. It was a 12-hour course. He powered through it, understood a bunch of stuff, and, somehow got a job offer from Amazon, which I'm very happy for him, even though he had to reject it later on. Another resource I didn't use, Algo Expert, which you guys should definitely use. A lot of great explanations on there. I've had an affiliate link with them. I've talked to Clement. It's been like a year. I don't know how long it's been. I could have been using it this whole time to practice, did not. Yes, I had a job, but at the same time, practicing here and there does way more than cramming in like 2 weeks or 1 week, okay? That's just a fact of life. Bunch of resources I could have taken advantage of before coming into this interview, but hey, life was happening, I was comfortable, and unfortunately, that's what happens when you're too comfortable. So leading up to this interview, I just wanted to talk about, there are 2 types of interviewers, I personally feel like, or interviewees. I personally feel like there's code-confident people and there's people-confident people. As you guys know, there's a behavioral interview and there is a technical part. I'm a very people-confident person. I feel like I could get across my thoughts. I could get across who I am as a person in the interview, and I love that about myself, What I don't love about myself is nervousness I get when people are watching me code. Everyone to some degree has normal anxiety when it comes to an interview setting, but in the talking phase where I'm just chatting it up, talking about myself, answering simple questions, I'm very happy to do that. I feel like I get everything across. But the coding part, even thinking about it is making me just anxious. Rare for people to be both code confident and people confident, I feel like. In my personal opinion, I just feel like it's very hard for people to be both. So as you guys know, I deal with some anxiety and depression. I've managed in the past year. I honestly thought I managed in the past year, but I had an anxiety attack, a genuine anxiety attack. This is like minor interview anxiety, like, ooh, I'm anxious, but let's do this. No. This is mouth drying, sweating, shaking, computer literally blurring out and in and out in front of me. The worst type of, I've managed my anxiety attacks. I've been pretty good this year. I'm not gonna lie, I was happy about it. But when it came to this interview, everything that could go wrong went wrong. And the worst case is did not get enough sleep. There was construction outside my apartment. So just the worst everything was happening, but it's okay. So the first question I got was a very easy question. And when I say very easy, I mean absurdly easy. And when I say absurdly easy, this man was explaining every single step to me to just generally get what was being asked of me. And he just, all he did was ask me to code what he just explained. And I froze. I freaked out. I kept telling him I'm frozen, which is fine. That's normal to get frozen in an interview. Ask for help. Again, it's okay to communicate, but I wasn't doing anything constructive with my words. I was just like, it sucked. He talked it out. He was like, hey, I get it. Sometimes things that are really easy can come off hard because we're overthinking. I was like, I get I'm overthinking, but my brain wouldn't stop. And it was a horrible experience. He was a great interviewer, by the way. Just horrible experience on my part. And keep in mind, I had 2 of these in one day. The talking part, I was fine. We were laughing, chatting it up. I was perfectly fine. The coding part, I was not very code confident. So just being in a situation where I couldn't even think enough to problem solve because my brain was just like done was horrible. I obviously bombed that. Obviously, when someone codes it out in front of you, you're like, wow, why did I not get this? Like, why did I not understand? This is the simplest thing he could have possibly asked me, and I messed up. And the worst thing is, the problem was literally, what is it called? Nth Fibonacci. And it's a problem that has to do with recursion. And this man did his best to explain to me everything that I needed to do, and my brain just couldn't work. And the worst part is, I was studying on Algo Expert. I looked at the recursion section. I was like, I didn't really see many recursion problems from Microsoft on LeetCode or anything, so I'm not even going to worry about that. And the first thing they asked me is the number 1 thing on recursion on Algo Expert, and I should have just clicked on it. I never even clicked on it, bro. Anyways, so that was the first one. The second one was, again, my interviewer told me he went to bed at like 4 a.m. because he actually has a job and was bug fixing till 4 a.m. And it was very cool to talk to him. It was a very relaxed environment. But at this point, I already know I needed 2 yeses to get this job or this apprenticeship. I didn't have 1 yes. I just knew from the first experience. I completely bombed that. So my anxiety was just gone. But at the same time, it was still there, but just not all the way gone. So I'm talking to the guy, it's all good, and he went to bed at 4 a.m. Just, unlike me, I never slept, so we're both very tired, but we laughed about this. He asked me a bunch of great questions, which I thought I did a great job answering, and I actually was interested in talking to him. It was, he gave me some tips about just the work environment in general. But the coding situation in this was another easy problem. Anagrams. I have done this problem multiple times. I do it, and he puts a different test case in there. I figure that out. Good. Got it. I explained every line of code. But during this code explanation for a problem I've done probably like 10 times over and over and over, my mouth starts drying up because, again, signs of an anxiety attack. If you guys have ever had one, those are fun. Mouth starts drying up. Keep in mind, I'm a little bit more comfortable, but at this point, I'm just anxious explaining even things that I already know. Answers that I already know, I'm having difficulty explaining. I don't know if he dinged me on that, but I asked him after, hey, honestly, what would be your feedback on this? I told him I already knew the answer to this, but I feel like I could have done better explaining. He said I actually did fine in considering everything, and I was fine with that, and honestly, it sounded like he was going to give me a good review. I don't know what he said, but at the same time, I'm just going to assume I passed one interview and bombed the other. And either way, I knew going in I failed, which is perfectly okay. I was underprepared, which is perfectly okay. I guess my fear going forward is this happening again, like a genuine anxiety attack happening again while I literally know the answers. I fear practicing or just getting better at algorithm data structures, and maybe I never see the problem. Maybe I've never seen the problem as presented to me, but just not being able to think right because I'm panicking is just it was the most frustrating thing during the interview. After the interview, I was all happy. I was just happy it was done. And it's weird. I shouldn't be happy an interview is, you could be happy a process is over because, again, I was cramming, right? But I got very lucky being asked some easy questions. It was incredible luck, right? But at the same time, because of my anxiety, because of whatever the case is, maybe I was expecting way too much and, didn't get anything that complicated. Maybe that's the case, but It just didn't work out in my favor. And I've also read here and there that even if you do pass, sometimes it might just not pick you, which is fine, you know. I think the apprenticeship program only takes in like 30 people out of, I don't know how many people apply. Maybe that was the reason. Maybe they both said yes, but at the end of the day, whatever weakness I presented, they were like, all right, cut him out. But it just sucks. So my biggest advice to whoever's watching is just try your best to be as prepared as possible. Obviously, it's cool to learn how to read code, and you know, sometimes you really can't figure out a problem, so you got to look at what someone else did, and that's cool too. But at the same time, try to make that problem solving skill get better and better and better. You know, even if you're stuck on something for an hour, at least you practiced for that day. You know, you're not going to be able to give yourself an hour to get stuck on something if you're forcing yourself to cram because you haven't been practicing for however many months. And keep in mind, it's really hard to get a job right now. So I don't want you guys to finally get an interview because you already know how hard it is to get an interview. I don't want you guys to finally get an interview and not get the job because it's something simple like not being prepared, you know? So with that being said, good luck to all of you. Please support this channel. I'd really appreciate it. I'm done making videos for the day.